A watercraft that takes people to view the wreck of the Titanic is missing in the Atlantic Ocean. The tourist submersible visits the wreck near Newfoundland with dives lasting up to 10 hours. The company that charges $250,000 for the expedition views the famous ship almost 4,000 meters below the surface. The Boston Coast Guard said an operation to find it was underway.
Hey everybody, this is your brother Van Silk. Not in my house with Van Silk on Rumble.com and not in my house with Van Silk on YouTube.com. And yes, you can catch me on Spotify for podcasters. Well, the world's been waiting, and we all got the answer today on the missing Titanic submersible vehicle that went 13,000 feet deep into the water to go visit the Titanic. The United States Coast Guard confirmed the vessel implosion and death. So basically, people, when an implosion happens, it's instant death. According to Martian News, the world was shocked by the news that the tourist submarine seeking to visit the ruins of the Titanic went missing. A search mission has since been launched to recover the people missing. So basically, it was about 1,600 feet away from the Titanic. I guess the pressure chambers exploded as well. But there's a lot of things going on with this OceanGate company that people's not talking about. And see, the passengers are all confirmed dead. OceanGate issued a statement. We now believe that our CEO, Stockton, Shahzada Dawood, and his son, Suleman Dawood, Hamish Harding, and Paul-Henri have been sadly lost. These men were true explorers who shared a distant spirit of adventure and a deep passion for exploring and protecting the world's ocean. Our hearts are with these 5 souls and every member of their families during this tragic time. We grieve the loss of life and the joy they brought to everyone they knew. There's more. I'm not going to read all that. But let me say this. The Titanic took a lot of lives. We watched the movie, the recreation of what basically happened out the North Atlantic Ocean. We all watched it. It was the disastrous time in history of something that was never supposed to sink. But it sank, and people died. There's been people that found the Titanic years and years ago. And what I'm trying to say is, in something smaller than a minivan, my Toyota Sienna holds 9 people. No, 7 people. Wow, I misquoted 7 people. You're gonna put 5 people in something, encaved with allegedly 90 hours of oxygen to go 13,000 feet, 2.5 miles in water with something that's supposed to be like an Xbox controller controlling this. Now, even if this submersive submarine floated to the top of the ocean, let's say 2 miles away from where it was dropped off, the people inside could not even let themselves out. So basically, you was in a death trap for $250,000. I find when people get money, they do a lot of things that don't make sense. They play with life. They play with their life like they're invincible. There's enough videos on YouTube and the internet that you can find and look at the Titanic. I'm happy looking at it from TV, in my comfort of my bed with no water around me. See, people play with water and they play with planes. We all got to be careful when we play with life. Alan Estrada, a famous YouTuber who went down to the Titanic wreckage in a similar capsule to those missing today, recalled his ordeal, insisting he'll never do it again. We lost communication around 1,000 meters, if I'm not mistaken, he said. I wouldn't do it again because it seemed incredibly expensive to me, and I will also expect an improvement in the submersible to be able to stay much longer at such a depth. And the problem is here again, this is what people do in life. You play with games, you play games, and in life, we all got to understand that it's just, I'm lost for words because of these 5 people lost their lives. And people saying, you play stupid game, you win stupid prizes. What I want to say is there was a worker at OceanGate who told them that this vehicle wasn't ready. This is the 3rd trip. It also wasn't certified by a 3rd company. Now, NASA worked on this. But the problem is, why? I want to know why. What is the reason? What is the purpose? What are you getting out of it? You want to be adventurous? Man, like, come on, there's other things. I mean, even the Coast Guard said some of the best submarines couldn't even get close to the ground of the North Atlantic Ocean of where the Titanic lost and sunk at. The Titanic, it seemed like, people, there's so many other things in life that you can go and visit. Just like when people go to the zoo, they want to stick their hand in the lion's cage or the gorilla cage, like stupid. Like, you do stupid things, you're gonna get stupid tricks and prizes that come with it. I'm just rambling right now because I'm just looking at why. What was the reason? And people just keep doing things, and I'm just totally want to know what really happened with the implosion. Because when the implosion happened, it's instant. It's automatically, it's like deadly. You're not going to survive it. It's just like a bullet. Boom. It's just no different when Elon Musk trying to send that Starship or whatever he called it and exploded. Okay? It's people don't understand, man. It takes years to get things off the ground. And evidently OceanGate, if you had the pilot and the owner, so you had $1 million into your company with 4 people on there, or $750,000 for that trip. I guess they're putting the company, but there was a worker that left and said, listen, man, this vehicle is not really certified to be doing these type of trips at this depth. So he's going, and he was right. Now, this submersible weighed 20,000 pounds and was capable of diving 13,000 feet. Okay, capable. Doesn't mean it can. All I can say is, people, value your life. I'm sorry right now. A former OceanGate Expeditions customer who took a trip to see the Titanic wreckage 2 years ago described the dive as a kamikaze operation. An international search and rescue operation is ongoing for the 5 crew members. But this person says like a kamikaze expedition. So there's been people that took this dive before and said they would never do it again. All I can say is that, listen, may the 5 souls rest in peace. May God bless you. May people make more better choices in life. Excuse me, especially when you're playing with water, diving off planes, daredeviling, all that. didn't know what really to say about this. I'm just rambling, but I just had to say something. This is Van Silk, Not at My House on YouTube, Not at My House on Rumble.com. I'll talk to you later.